So today we are going to look at something that is seminal, absolutely critical to any fighting, something that is critical for your Wing Chun fighting. It's shifting. First we're going to go over to the whiteboard and diagram what's going on, and we'll come back and demonstrate how it goes. Okay, so as we talk about the fundamentals of shifting, I'm presupposing you've already spent some time and gone through this section about setting your stance. So with that presumption in mind, we're going to assume fundamental shifting that your feet are approximately in this position. And your balance is completely centered balanced. Your balance point will be over this point. Now as we shift, we're going to shift in a straight line between the center of our feet. So as we start out here, we're going to be pulling our balance point, which we talked about in an earlier video, over to the center of this foot. As we do so, we're going to be pulling this toe this way. We're going to be pressing this heel this way. And at this point, as a beginner, you don't have to worry much about what's happening with the other foot, because if you pull with that foot, it's going to drag this foot into an optimal position anyway. Presuming, of course, you're holding your adduction correctly. So then your balance will be here, lined up in between your feet. Now then to shift the other way, you will apply pressure on this toe this way, this heel this way, shift your balance the other way. You're going to pull your balance from here, this time in this direction, until it's in the center of this foot. And then your feet will end up in this configuration, pointed this way with your balance point here. So in the beginning, we're starting centered, we're shifting over to this side, so we're shifting that direction. Then shifting the other direction, we're going to pull with this foot and toe, pull our balance point across to the center of that foot, and line up that direction. Then to shift the other way, as we've shifted that direction, now our balance point resides here, we're facing back this direction. Okay, so first we set up our stance, we chamber our arms, sink our knees, open our toes. We're going to adjust that again to our feet are shoulder width, toes slightly turned in, elbows bent, knees in line between your hip socket and your toes, gently squeezing the adductor muscles. You're going to have your sternum elevated, sufficient that your diaphragm's open, your back's in appropriate alignment, your chin is back. Okay. Now, as I get ready to shift, I'm going to be again moving my balance point, that point to the very inside core of my body. First, I'm going to shift over to my right foot. So as instructed on the whiteboard, I'm going to be pressing in with this toe, pressing out with this heel, circling in the center of this foot, holding my adduction throughout the range of motion, and pulling my balance point over top of that foot, like so. Then when I shift the other way, I'm going to move my balance point along this straight line between center of the feet towards that foot. This toe is going to press in, that heel is going to press out, and pull myself the other way. So that shifting movement looks like this. Now you can break those pieces down as you're trying to identify muscle flow, muscle movement, and two things are going on simultaneously. One is the lean, and your knee needs to be traveling in line with your toes so you don't strain your knees, also so you maintain proper structural integrity. And the second part is the rotation. So as you get those pieces together, we do them simultaneously, now we're shifting. Now some people, when they shift, their shifting stinks because all they do is rotate. Okay, out of the line of force. So if they're punching and I just rotate, obviously I did not gain any ground. I have to shift to move myself out of the line of force. Same thing with our body pressure, with kicking and other things. You've got to get your body out of the way to accomplish the purpose of the shift. And as you get skillful at this lets you evade a lot of lines of force, a lot of attacks, simply by just shifting and moving around whatever the attack is. So this is an absolutely critical skill. You must master this skill if you want to be a proficient fighter.